Retell AI went from $5 million to over $35 million in annual revenue in about a year, with a team of just 24 people. That makes them one of the fastest growing companies in voice AI right now. But fast growth doesn't always mean great product. I have worked as a senior product manager and I've spent years running customer support automation at a major financial institution. We handled hundreds of thousands of interactions a year across phone, email, and chat. So I have a pretty specific idea of what matters when an AI agent picks up a real customer call. Today, I'm going to do a full deep dive on Retell AI. I'm going to sign up from scratch. I will build a voice agent, make real test calls, and score the platform on a framework I have built specifically for evaluating voice AI. By the end of this video, you will know exactly whether Retell is worth your time. So let's get into it. And stay tuned for my verdict at the end of this video on how their agent actually performed and whether or not I will press 0 and talk to an actual human. But before we get to there, what exactly is Retell AI? Just some quick context. Retell AI, it is a platform for building AI voice agents that handle real phone calls. You can think about it in a way like inbound support, outbound sales, appointment bookings, lead qualifications. They are backed by Y Combinator and Altman Capital. Their core pitch, their core differentiation is speed. They claim sub 800 millisecond response times, which is the threshold where phone conversations start feeling natural instead of robotic. Research also shows that once you cross that 800 millisecond of delay, call abandonment rates, they spike by about 40%. So latency isn't just like a nice to have. It is the single most important technical metric for voice agents which are in production. Retell's pricing, it is pay as you go. So it starts about 7 cents per minute for their orchestration layer, but the real cost is the stack. You are also paying for your LLM, your voice engine, and your telephony provider. I will break down the real math later. Retell, they started as a developer-first platform, but recently they have added a visual conversation flow builder so as to make it more accessible. And just this week, there has been 2 notable launches. Retell AI is now available on ChatGPT. We will be going into it in a later video. This is all about where you can build and deploy voice agents through a ChatGPT workflow. And the second most notable launch was that they shipped dynamic voice speed. The agent now automatically matches the caller's speaking pace. That is a meaningful UX improvement for accessibility. And now let's see how the product actually performs. For their sign up and onboarding, I went to their website and it was pretty quick. There was an option for try it for free. I clicked on that, and this is the window that that showed up. It's great that they also have the Google Auth option. I just used my email address and pressed on continue. Once I did that, they asked for a verification through my email. And then the second step was that they asked to enter a mobile phone number to attach to my account. Once I entered my mobile phone number, it generated a verification code and I just verified. So all these steps just took me like less than 3 minutes to be exact, just to get to the stage of the onboarding page. Now, once I was onboarding, there was they did ask me a couple of questions. How do I plan to use Retell? How many call centers do I have? how would I want to implement the solution, and how did I hear about retail. Um, Basically, what they're trying to do is that they're tracking attribution. And through the onboarding question, they're just trying to understand, what's the use case? What is the team size? What is the implementation preference? And that might also be used by their sales or billing team as well. Total time to get exactly to the dashboard, I would say just under 5 minutes. And for context, a good benchmark is under 10 minutes for a developer tool. So it's pretty impressive how quickly I was able to sign up and go to the agent dashboard. Okay, now let's look at what retail drops you into. I have the Retail AI's dashboard. It has a very clean navigation if you look at it. There is build, there's deploy, monitor, and system settings. This is a sign when they have this build, deploy, and monitor. It tells me that they're thinking about the full life cycle, not just the agent creation portion of it. Under build, we've got the agents in the knowledge base. Under monitor, there is call history, chat history, analytics, AI quality assurance, and alerting. I did find the AI quality assurance and analytics sections to be pretty interesting because most voice AI platforms, they don't ship production monitoring tools out of the box. That clearly tells me that they're building for teams running agents at scale. They're not just building for people who are testing the demos. When I click on create agent, when I click on create agent, it gives me two options. One of them is voice and chat agent. For the purpose of this demo, I will be using the voice agent. So when I click on it, there are 4 types of agent type. Conversational flow agent. The other one is a single prompt agent. Multi-prompt agent, which is their legacy version, and then custom LLM. Apart from these 4 agent types, there are 8 templates. There are 8 templates on healthcare, real estate, dental, retail, delivery support, and education, which is interesting. These templates are smart. There is patient screening, real estate lead qualification. There is medical center receptionist, and from just looking at it, it seems that these aren't generic templates that they have created. They are trying to target some specific verticals where voice AI is already proven. And I would say that that's a product team that clearly understands their buyers. Of testing, I used one of the templates. It was real estate lead qualification. So I just used that agent. I used the default voice, but we also have an option to choose from a huge set of other different voices. I will go to test agent and test the flow. It does have a pre-built flow, which is mentioned in here, and I'm going to test based off of that. So let's get started. I will be asking generic questions, and I will be probably throwing a couple of curveballs at the agent as well.
Hi, first name. It's Kelsey here from South Bay Investment, the Bay Area property investment company. You had previously showed some interest in an advert for a property investment Bay Area. It is just a quick call. Are you familiar with South Bay Investment?
Okay, can you tell me what are your working hours?
We're typically available during standard business hours, Monday through Friday. If you're interested, I can help set up a time that works best for you. Are you familiar with South Bay
Actually,
Investment?
never mind. Can you tell me more about some of the properties in the Bay Area?
Absolutely. I work with a lot of clients to help diversify their portfolio and invest in the Bay Area. with annual returns up to 14%.
Okay, can
and
you tell me
mortgages-
about the mortgage rates in the San Francisco Bay Area?
Great. We use data, analytics, and proven methodology, which we will teach you to find the
Can
best
you
performing.
tell me about the mortgage rates in San Francisco Bay Area?
Sure. In the Bay Area, we're able to get 65% up to 75% of the property cost covered with finance, meaning you'd pay on average around a 30% deposit. This makes it accessible for many investors.
What are
and
the
mortgages
What are the mortgage rates in the Bay Area? Can you tell me about that specifically?
Absolutely. I can give you a bit more detail. Mortgage rates in the Bay Area can vary depending on the lender, your credit profile, and the type of property. But generally, they tend to range from about 5% to 7% for investment properties right now.
Okay.
We work with
Can
a
you
network
get
of
me in touch with a real estate agent?
No problem at all. If you ever want a second opinion or more information about investment opportunities, feel free to reach back out. Have a great day.
Okay, I'll stop it. I was trying to just say that can you get me in touch with a real estate agent? Now let's look at what retail gives you for monitoring your agents in production. There is an analytics dashboard that has 9 widget cards. Out of the box, call counts, call duration, call latency, concurrency, call successful, disconnection reason, user sentiment, phone inbound versus outbound, call picked up rate, and call successful rate. You can filter by date range and add custom widgets. That's a solid starting point. But the real surprise is the AI quality assurance page. This isn't just call logs, it's a structured QA system. Average call score, call resolution rate, transfer success rate, transfer wait time, and a table showing the top questions users are asking. That last one is huge. It tells you that what your agent is actually being asked in production, which feeds directly into prompt improvement. They also have an alerting system with pre-built alerts for payment failures, high concurrency, LLM failures, and other provider errors. That's production ops infrastructure, not something I expected from a platform at this stage. I'll do a much deeper breakdown of the dashboard in my next video, but for now, the headline is Retell AI isn't just building for demos, they're building for teams running agents at scale. Now, let's get on to the scorecard. Okay, I will score every voice AI platform on this measuring criteria, and here's how Retell did. Their latency and response speed, I'll give them 7 out of 10. Responses came back fast, which is what Retell is known for. But there were moments where the pauses between my questions and the agent's answers did feel a little unnatural. Good, but not great. Second, for voice naturalness, 7 out of 10 again. The voice itself sounded decent. I didn't choose another voice. Maybe another voice would have sounded better, but the voice itself is decent, I would say. But I didn't feel that it was the most human-like I've heard. Where it felt short was spacing. Longer answers, they felt like the agent was reading from a script rather than having a conversation with me. Speech recognition. This one is important. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. And this is where the things got a little rough. I said mortgage rates and the agent heard market rates. I had to repeat myself at least twice throughout the call. In a contact center handling hundreds of calls a day, that level of misrecognition would destroy resolution rates. For intent classification, I'd give it 3 out of 10. This was the biggest failure. I said, can you get me in touch with a real estate agent? And the system interpreted as that I'm in touch with a real estate agent and ended the call. It misclassified my intent and it took irreversible action. In production, that's a lost customer. Multi-turn context, 5 out of 10. Simple follow-ups worked fine, but then when I stacked multiple requests or changed topics mid-call, the agent started losing track. Escalation and human handoff, 3 out of 10. When I asked to speak to a real person, there was no graceful path. The agent didn't acknowledge the request, didn't offer to transfer, or in one case, just hung up. That's the one thing a voice agent should never do. The total score comes out to be 29 out of 60. For reference, I consider anything about 45 to be production ready. Retell scored well below that threshold. Maybe I'll try to do more testing and throw more curveballs at Retell to see if that score was to change. But that is my verdict as of now. So my final verdict. So here's the bottom line on Retell AI. What impressed me? The platform infrastructure. It's genuinely strong. The dashboard has analytics, QA scoring, alerting, call history, and sentiment tracking. Everything. The developer experience is fast. I went from sign up to a working agent in minutes. The vertical templates show they understand their buyers. Their shipping velocity is real. ChatGPT integration, dynamic voice speed, both launched this week. Where it broke for me, speech recognition and intent classification. When the agent misheard mortgage rates as market rates, and I had to repeat myself multiple times, that's the friction your customers will feel. And when I asked to be connected to a real estate agent, and the system interpreted that as me saying I'm already connected and ended the call, that's not a minor bug. That's a lost customer. In a real real contact center, that call gets escalated, not terminated. The builder is ahead of the brain. Retell has built they've built excellent tooling around an agent that isn't reliable enough yet for high stakes conversation. If you're running appointment booking, basic FAQ, or simple lead qualification with short, clear queries, Retell might work today. But if your customers ask nuanced questions, use natural phrasing, or need to escalate, you're not there yet. So, would I press 0? Yes, I will. Today, I'd press 0. The platform is impressive. The agent isn't ready, but I'll say this. The infrastructure Retell has built is exactly what production voice AI needs. If they nail the recognition and intent layer, this becomes a very different conversation. And I'll be watching. If you found this useful, subscribe. I'm reviewing more voice AI platforms and I'll be comparing them head to head. Next time, I'll also do a deep dive into Retell's dashboard and what this means for teams running agents at scale. Thanks for watching, and remember, if the AI can't help you, you press 0.